Uh,
Welcome to the Not All Here podcast.
I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to start this episode. Every time I do the same thing where I laugh and I'm like, yeah, because usually we'd be starting it like
just jumbled. But when we have a guest, we're too embarrassed to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes
Yes, so y'all juggle.
No.
we just it's like a bunch of just randomness. Just because I don't know how that became a thing, but we would just talk over each other like, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you remember that one time? And it's just like a lot of bullshit. But anyway, we just do that. Anyway, welcome to the Not All Here podcast, episode 20.
Episode 20.
Episode 20. 20. So today's a very special episode. We got a good friend of mine. That one, you all know him, I think. It's the homie, Walt Live.
What it do?
Walt Live, for those who don't know, can you sort of give like a little intro like about like your work, some of the stuff that you've, the groups you've been a part of, or just like, your history?
Okay, I'm a producer, artist, engineer. I think that's it. Musician. Produced with the 5 Points Bakery. There's DJ Burnwin, partner Go Ricky Go, and Anna Valina. So we did projects for Starlito. Who else? I'm so terrible at this. When it comes to naming people, I should have a list. Starlito, Ritz, Scotty ATL, Young Dirt. I would say Lil Dirt. Young Dirt, Nicki Minaj. We did what was that movie in ATL?
I know what you're talking about. They redid it, right? It was like a remake, was it?
Superfly. Superfly did Superfly.
Y'all work with PlayStation too, right?
Yeah. Did some NBA Live.
NBA Live.
Yeah. Damn, it was another movie that was in the Bluff. I think that started us off for like the doing like scores and stuff.
Can't remember. I just remember Superfly.
Damn, what was the Bluff movie? Where dude got robbed.
I know what you're talking about. It's not Snow in the Bluff, is
Snow
it?
in the Bluff.
Okay.
That's what
Y'all did music on that?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So Walt is like multi-talented. I think, man, I've been knowing you for what seems like forever, but I think, because I know I first started to get like become friends with you when you remember the homie Sean Fresh.
Yeah.
Shout out to my homie Sean Fresh, R&B singer.
The freshest
from Arkansas. But I would come over here before I moved to Atlanta. And he linked up with Burn One, which at the time, that's when I first met you and Ricky.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, who are these dudes? They completely different than anybody that I've ever met. I'm making dope music and shit. But and before I met you, that's when I after I moved, I was like, yo, I just want to kick it with y'all, learn, and just, because I was like, y'all were like way more advanced than me as far as producing or whatever. And I was like, well, I want to get some knowledge and see how it works. And then, the rest is history.
Oh, yeah. I think, when did you move down? I think you told us you was like, hey, man, I'm moving to Atlanta.
Yeah, it was like in 2015, March 10th, 2015, if I remember right.
For real? That was a minute ago.
2015 or 2016, one of the two. I think, because I've been here 5 years now, so that's 2016. Yeah, so it's March 10th, 2016. Super wild.
I know.
It's been crazy because and then I think from there, because I used to do a whole lot of video stuff. We did some stuff I used to do called Behind the Boards.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah,
you did it one for them?
Yeah, I did one for them.
Oh, okay,
and
that's how we met him.
Yeah,
he did one for us.
Yeah,
And
I met them, the Jetty with y'all used to go by the Coalition, and before it became Cool as People, but it was at A3C. Because, that was where everybody would network and shit.
And that's
here
when
in Atlanta.
A3C was just starting to really...
Exactly. Starting to really blessed. And so, but anyway, all of that's history. If y'all don't know, Walt is like I said, multi-talented, plays almost any instrument you can think of, almost, I would say.
Yeah. I'm trying. Slowly.
Exactly. But I kind of wanted to go into the show here where we kind of dive a little bit into your history. So you're from, if I remember, Alabama, right?
Yeah, I'm from Alabama.
And so how long did you live in Alabama before you moved to Atlanta and you kind of linked up with how did you link up with Burn and everybody?
So I came up here for college. I came up here in 2004 to go to Morehouse. Okay. I didn't know nothing about Morehouse for real. My cousin, I was in Alabama, Mobile, Theodore, and doing music and stuff. And I was gonna go to like Auburn or something because I War Eagle, you know what I'm saying, War Eagle. I was gonna go to Auburn or something, and she was like, hey, you should come up to A, because she was at Clark. Hey, you should come to the A, come do, you know what I'm saying, you do music, this is where you want to be at.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. So I moved up, I applied, ended up getting in. So I came up here to Morehouse, and I just started just trying to meet people. I think I met, walking just around campus, everybody be on campus, Young Dro, Pastor Troy, people just be riding around. So you just see people all day.
And was this when they were like super popping?
Yeah, it was like super popping. So this is like 04.
Yeah.
So people just ride through campus. So you can just see anybody just coming through.
Yeah.
So then how I actually met Burn was I had a homie back in Auburn, my homeboy V. Lee. And he was telling this other guy that was there, he was like, yo, man, my homie Walt, he the best. You know what I'm saying? He's a producer too. So he's like, hey, my homie Walt, y'all can't touch him, da-da-da-da-da. Just hyping me up.
Yeah.
So he tell his homie, and his homie hit me. So he's like, he hit me one day when I was at home. He's like, yo, da-da-da, my homie said you make dope beats. I picked it up. I'm like, yeah. I'll holler at you whenever I get back home. When I get back to school. So I went to go link with him like 3 months after I talked to him. I didn't even hit him up. I hit him 3 months later. Like, yeah, man, let's link. So I hit him, I go hear his beats. I'm like, damn, need some hard ass beats. They was like really killing. I was like, damn. So, but he was actually working with Dallas Austin. Okay. And the Backwoods, he did like the Oompa Loompa joint, the I Don't Like the Look of It, and some other joints for them. So I linked with them. I linked with him, started working, kicking it. Then he took me up to the studio, and I met Black and Backwoods and Dallas and all them. Okay. And then and then through that, Burn was actually working on a mixtape for the Backwoods, and that's how I met Burn. Yeah, so Burn was like, we started kicking it. He was like, yo, man, I want to manage you. I was like, well, cool, hell yeah. So he started managing me, and then I brought another partner in. And through that, we did some joints with Tracy T. Who was that? Young Dro back then. Who was the guy? Who was that?
Oh, Young LA?
Young LA.
Damn.
The 2 Chainz, the Play a Circle joint, did a joint for them. And there's a whole bunch of people. That's how I met Jackie Chan and everybody too.
Oh, gotcha.
So after that, school got crazy, so I ended up having to go back home. We won't talk about what happened, but school got crazy. I had to go back home. I was like, I didn't want to be down there. I was just trying to figure out. So all in all, I ended up finally come back to Atlanta. Spent like a year home, came back to Atlanta, and Burn was like, yo, we want to, I'm thinking about doing a production team. Burn been working on beats, been working to learn how to make beats. Got fired. I think he had just did the Starlito project before.
Okay, yeah. So
he was like, yo, I got this guy I know that do guitar. So I came to his crib when I just got back. We worked on the beat. We sent it to the guy to get the guitar, which was Ricky. And he had a partner with him, Pro, play bass. And then they sent it back to us, and that became, I believe, Lucy Says Hi off our first beat tape that we dropped.
Oh, okay. And
then after that, we just been kicking it since. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of history, man. Been in the game for like a minute.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So what year did that start? Like, when did you come to Atlanta?
I came in 04.
04.
And then I went back home in like 08, 09. Then I came right back a year later, and that's when we all linked up, like 2010, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Do you can you remember like what was like? Do you have like for you what feels like your first kind of like break in the industry? You know how people sometimes be like, "Hey, I got like my first break," whether it be production or just doing vocals for somebody or something. Like you were talking about, you work with Play a Circle, and that's when 2 Chainz was Titty Boy and all that.
Yeah.
Well, who was like your first one? Was it like Starlito? You were like Burn, or were you working with Burn then? Or
he was managing. I think the first one was the Young LA off the mixtape.
Okay.
And then, but I think the real first one was the Tracy T, because that kind of blew up here in Atlanta. So that was the real one where it was just like, well, dang, I think, you know what I'm saying, something really, okay, I got a little, people fucking really, yeah. But the Tracy T was like the first one that I was like, okay, like things is actually.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like super dope.
So is music something you've always known, like for forever, you've always wanted to do, or is it something you kind of like fell into, like just in like a roundabout way?
I think forever. Like really, because I was young, I used to always like singing. Mm-hmm. So I like singing. I used to love singing, doing the Michael Jackson moves and all that. So I just love singing and stuff. So as I got older, I just really wanted to do music. I got in the band for a second, did like sax and stuff. And then I went from there to just teach myself how to play piano. And then Fruity Loops came out, and I started messing with that. I was like, oh, I don't have to buy a drum machine. Like, I ain't got to spend thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
I'm Team Fruity Loops.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Are you still Team Fruity Loops?
Oh,
or
yeah,
no?
we still rock. I left them for a minute. I left them, but
back?
I came back. Yeah, I came back home.
Dope.
Yeah, I remember, I think y'all are the first, you, Ricky, and Burn were the first ones to be like, I think when I first started getting, they're like, man, you know, we produce in Ableton, but, you know, sometimes Fruit Loops just make your drums knock, man.
Yeah,
somebody
they do.
to export. And I was like, I don't understand what the fuck y'all talking about. Because, like, I was, like, in Logic. And so it's super funny. But that's dope. I would say, so then, like, you said you taught yourself to play piano. Did you ever play in, like, a church or anything like that? Or just sort of everything was self-taught?
Nah, I didn't never play in no church. No disrespect to the church.
Yeah,
no disrespect. But I did choir. Like, you know,
okay.
every little kid do choir
Yeah.
in church. But nah, I never really played. Cause even with sax, I never really understood how to create music with my sax. Like I couldn't, I guess, technically, I couldn't improvise with my sax when I was young. Like, some people just pick it up. Sax wasn't the instrument that I could improvise on.
So you were reading the notes, and that told you what to do.
Yeah, and just told me what to play. So I could never, even when I make beats, I couldn't in my brain figure out like what to do with my sax on the beat.
Is it still kind of like that, or you overcame that like 100%?
Oh yeah, I'm over that now.
Oh yeah.
Like, once I started, really, piano, I guess, was my gateway instrument into. Because I taught myself, it taught me improvising instantly, because I was playing to songs, so I had to pick out notes. I had to learn off top, so I learned how to improvise.
Right.
And then I brought the sax back later. You know
that makes sense. So you kind of sort of like, you trained your ear to be like, okay, to kind of help with like scales and everything like that, to like playing to popular songs. Because I know for me, I taught myself how to play the piano, and like I didn't know nothing about like scales, chords, or anything. I was just like, this sounds pretty good to me. And then somebody was like, no, man, you need to learn your scales, you need to learn chords or whatever. It'll help big time, you know. Yeah. And then sure enough, like once I got that down, because I was a little stubborn at first, I was like, man, I ain't trying to learn this. But then when you realize, when you learn it, you kind of know the rules, and you know how to be like, well, shit, let me do it my way, and how to, like you said, improvise. Because like I think everybody has, you definitely have like your own style when it comes to like the saxophone or playing the keys or whatever. And that I kind of learned the same way too. So it makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah, because you got 5 now.
Yeah.
I see. Like,
it's so funny. Like, you ever go back to like some of your older work, you be like, "Boy, what the fuck was wrong with me?" And like at the time, you be like, "This shit was fire." But then you go back, you're like,
I'm like, I see what I was trying to do. I see.
I hate that for emails too. I'll go look and I'll be like, damn, I tried to send Dame Dash this beat. What the fuck was wrong with me?
That's how it always be, because you just get fired. But then, like you said, I think I had like that where I was trying to like early on email or like Twitter and stuff, you could find people's emails and they'd be like looking for beats.
Oh, that's my technique right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I got placements.
For real though.
Yeah.
No, and like I remember I would send like stuff to people or whatever, or even at shows, you know, you would do like you would try to meet the artist and be like, yo, hey, what's your email? I'm trying to send you shit. And then I remember one time I was looking at, I don't know who it was, and I was like, hey, these are dope beats. And I listened, I was like, boy, what the fuck was on?
Yeah. All right, so I got a question. Yeah. I think like all producers are different. But it's like most of the producers I talk to, it's like when they sit down, they have an idea or they'll have like a melody or something in their head. And me, I'm kind of the opposite. It's like I don't really have stuff in my head. I just sit down and do something and then just try to figure out where it goes. Yeah. How does that work for you? Like when you sit down, do you have a plan, like or like a melody or like something in your brain already?
Sometimes I'm kind of like you are. Like sometimes I just sit down and then once I hit, I just go somewhere. Like I start playing, I might go somewhere. Sometimes I come in and I have something that I thought about, and then I go in and I try to bring it out.
Try to hit that.
Yeah, I try to hit that. But more than often, I just, as soon as I hit the keyboard, I just go.
Just winging it.
Yeah. Because I just like the feel of just trying to find out. And from there, I might be like, oh, okay, I think I know where I'm trying to go. And I try to like, oh, okay, let me switch this. Let me change this chord. Oh, no, let me do this. Let me change this melody.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah, like that.
I feel you.
Yeah, that's interesting because like I don't think.
Do you have a plan? Do you plan it out?
I don't think I've ever had a plan, to be honest. Because I think in my head, I think I have a feeling, you know, that I'm trying to get out. And so, but like for the most part, I've never been like, oh, there's this melody. I never understood that phrase. Like I was just like, I don't know. I'm just gonna go to the keyboard and tap some keys and see if the feeling comes out. And so for the most part, like when it comes to production, like it's a feeling that I'm trying to get out. Like I feel this type of way, or I'm feeling something like this. Or I think sometimes what I'll do is like you'll listen to a song that you might vibe with real heavy, and you'll be like, I kind of want to create something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll do stuff like that. And so, but yeah. But what was I gonna say?
Have y'all seen that interview with Timbaland talking about this? About feeling and
music theory?
Yeah, theory.
Yeah.
he was just like, he was really like, fuck theory.
Yeah, he's like, you don't need music theory. He's like, it's a vibe. Yeah, it's like if you got music theory, but if you ain't got the vibe,
you ain't got nothing.
Exactly. It was funny.
Yeah, it's great because I'm like, theory though. It's like you're not using it in the sense of you're in your brain. You're like, I'm going to play this C minor chord. Oh, then I'm gonna switch it to this crazy chord. But you're just filling out the theory.
Exactly. No, it was. I think the best comment on the video, I saw it on YouTube because somebody had recorded it, was somebody saying, he's like, I see what you're saying, but I think even people who don't know theory don't realize that they're doing it or that they're using it.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like people who kind of like, for example, for me, I know certain scales once I figure it out, but I just don't know the name of the scale.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, I know this scale, I just don't remember what the hell it's called.
Yeah, but once it's locked in your brain, it's in your brain.
Exactly. Yeah. Whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I got another question. You don't have to name names, but do you have any stories of like maybe your best studio experience and your worst studio experience?
All right. I got one, and I don't care if I say his name.
I wouldn't try to do that, but
no, it's not bad like that. But what is it? So I went there to a session, my homeboy with young. This is like after this situation. Maybe I shouldn't have said his name. Maybe I can blurt that out later. But
I got you.
But so we go to the session, and I thought we were gonna play some beats. My homie was like, hey. In the studio. So I'm like, cool. So we'll go to the session. So we go to the session. He's in there with the engineer. He's going ham on the engineer.
Like going off on him.
Like
about to fight.
Like going off like the dude's messing up. He's trying to say something. He's probably on some sand and some lean.
Oh boy. So
he's gone. So he's like, dude's trying to keep up with him, but he's really I'm sitting there like, well, you the one kind of messing up. So he kept messing up. He's like, what you doing? What the fuck you doing? And you see the dude kind of terrified. He's like, no, man, bring it back. And he comes out the booth, yo, man, do I gotta slap you? And I'm like, yo, what? So he doing all this. My homeboy like, why don't you go help him? Because I'm like, bro, I'm gonna fight him. I'm not going in there. I'm not.
Exactly. You're not put up with somebody yelling at you.
Yeah, I ain't with all that. So he go through that, and then he come outside, he's talking, just hype up, and then he drops his lean. So this man, yeah, you got to blur his name out because this might be bad for this. This man goes on the ground and licks the lean off the carpet.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
He licks the lean off the carpet.
Bruh.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen. He did all this yelling and cussing, and then this man drops his lean. He's like, can't let it go to waste. I was like,
wow.
I was not expecting that turn.
Yeah.
Wow. I was expecting a fight or something to get broken.
Oh no, I didn't have to break up some fights, but
damn.
That was probably I was just, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's just funny. One of the funniest stories.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was gonna take that turn. I didn't know.
All right, so what about a positive experience? You ever had like a studio experience where you just like, damn.
Do you have like a favorite one of someone that you work with?
Lito. When we did he rented a castle in Nashville. I think it was Al Capone's castle.
What?
Yeah. We was all Ricky, Burn, me, Pro. We all went out there, and we the songs we did had samples of them, so we went out there to replay them.
Oh, okay.
So he had like a grand piano. He had like this big live room. It was fire. Like, so we just went out there, just redid all the joints, played everything. It was on like the DVD he put out. Okay. But that was probably the best fun I had, like in the studio. We was just out there kicking it.
Making beats in the castle.
Yeah, making beats in the castle.
Damn.
Yeah.
So then, since that's like one that you really like, who's somebody, I guess, in the industry that you might look up to that you want to work with one day?
Who would I like to work with? Like producing wise, probably Pharrell. Pharrell, I had 3 because this is my generation of me looking up to people. It would be Pharrell, Manny, Timbaland. Those are my top 3 producers.
Okay.
Like those are the people I would love to work with. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? Artist wise, I don't know. Like I like a lot of artists, but I just right now I don't really know. I would love to do a joint with Jay, but
Yeah.
That's like
That's
like an impossible mission.
yeah.
It's like the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel you. That makes sense. First of all, hold on. I just want to say again, that's a wild ass story. Even though we're gonna have to bleep out the name, but
I can't believe Jay-Z would do that.
no, my God, people be
wild.
like, Jay's did that. That'd be funny if that made that clip go viral. Jay did that. Damn, Young Hova. But I guess so. You know how the podcast goes. So we're gonna go into like a little segment to take a break. With Jetty here, who got some news. Yeah, we're doing the news segment.
Jump into that already, God.
I know, and then we can jump back a little bit into some more studio stories.
All right. I got it somewhere. Nas won his first Grammy.
Oh, did he?
Yep. Yeah, first Grammy. King's Disease.
Oh, it won for best rap album.
It won something because I saw a video where they told Hit Boy, and Hit Boy was really happy. So Nas won a Grammy.
Damn,
that's some good news. But
that's
all right,
wild.
Now the silly, stupid news. A Michigan hospital system is investigating an alleged The Price is Right style game during operations.
What?
So these are doctors and like surgical staff, and they just play games while they're operating on people.
What the hell?
And then they actually posted it on Instagram.
Like Operation?
Not
like you take this out perfect.
Not quite, but
600.
all right. So they would play a game segment called Guess the Weight. In one of the Instagram posts, an account run by 35 obstetrics. I didn't say that right, but whatever.
No, not optometrist.
Obstetrics and gynecology.
Gynecologist.
Look, all that medical shit, right?
Like,
but anyway, they showed an organ removed in a cancer operation, and they basically had like a little game to see who would
guess the right weight.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's wild.
They also did other shit too. A second post showed a doctor holding fibrous tissue as a patient lied on the operating table. Longest one wins, the post said. The Instagram account is now deleted.
Damn, bro.
All those people are going to lose their jobs.
I bet. Or they're about to get, what's it called? Disembarred or something like that? Disbarred or something. Whatever.
Is that a lawyer?
That might be a lawyer. I might be thinking the wrong thing.
We're not that smart. If it doesn't come to music stuff, we're not that smart.
Exactly.
All right, moving on. Texas man drove BMW dealership loaner car to rob a bank, right? Then he tried to use the money he got at the bank to buy the BMW when he drove it back to the car dealership.
Wow, that's wild.
He's either...
he went back to the dealership after robbing the bank.
He basically took it on a test drive.
So he took the car on a test drive to go rob the bank.
So he could buy the car.
Then he took the money he got from the bank back to the dealership to buy the car.
After the robbery.
The robbery.
He's an idiot genius. This is a picture. I wish they could see it, but they're not gonna be able to see it.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, he was. I pretty much summed it up. He passed a note across the counter. It said, "This is a fucking robbery. Play with me and die."
Damn.
I want 10,000 in 50s and $100 bills. Now you got 1 minute, or I will kill you. I ain't playing around. I only want hundreds and 50s. He pulled out what looked like a handgun.
He wrote that all on a letter?
Damn.
Yep. It was a long letter.
It's like a paragraph.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Authorities say 15 minutes after the robbery took place, Warren went back to the dealership in the loaned vehicle to hand them the cash. He began waving around the cash, and then they eventually got him. Shit didn't work.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
I think I actually had heard about that, and I was like, man, I swear, sometimes, man, you kind of feel like how could you do that? Not like how could you, but like, don't you think enough to be like, what made him think that he'd be like, man, I'm gonna go rob this place, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna buy it, and then bounce.
I like the idea. It's a cool idea, but
Because you know, most of the time, don't they have like trackers on when you're test driving vehicles?
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, for the most part, if people try to get away, they're like, "Well, it's tracked."
But he didn't try to get away. He went
just
to go
tried
pay for it.
That's hilarious. What if he told them when he went to bank, "Hey, I'm gonna make a withdrawal. I'm about to go to the bank real quick to buy it," and then they're like, "Okay, bet." But then they were like, "Oh shit." Probably that's what he was trying to tell them.
All right, moving on. Sperm bank in space. Scientists consider building Ark on the moon to store 6.7 million sperm specimens.
Nobody had anything to say. I know why.
To further the human race, to make sure that that kind of idea. Preserving life on Earth is on the minds of scientists as they prepare to store 6.7 million sperm cells and ova, not on Earth but on the moon. They laid down their plans about providing the world with a modern global insurance policy. They are now in stage of planning for the establishment of the sperm bank, which can safely store the cells. This will preserve the cells for both humans and animals. It will be beneath the moon's surface if they actually end up doing this.
Damn.
So they're gonna store sperm and eggs.
Yeah.
On the moon.
Maybe try to like build a colony up there or something.
So just in case everybody gets wiped out.
Yeah, they
By
have
a
a
comet,
backup.
it could be set as a human seed vault,
Okay.
which could be means to jumpstart a planetary exodus if the humans needed to leave Earth.
For
like if like an asteroid hit or something,
Yeah.
or extinction or something.
If we
like
knew it was on the way,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we got to back up on the moon. We'll just go chill on the moon for a little while.
Yeah, it kind of makes me think. You ever seen the movie The Martian? You know, with Matt Damon.
yeah.
How was it? No, it wasn't with Matt Damon. Was it? It was
it was.
Interstellar. I'm thinking of Interstellar.
okay.
Where there was
What?
a dude who they had sent somebody out there before, like Matthew McConaughey went out there, and he was going crazy. And they're like,
That's the Martian.
"Is it The Martian?"
Yeah.
Oh shit, I'm tripping. I'm getting my space movies mixed up. But basically, yeah, he's like, that's what it was, because Michael Caine, dude.
Oh wait, maybe it wasn't the
and
Martian.
oh my god,
I don't know.
it's one of them anyway. But they sent.
It was Matt Damon.
He was the bad guy.
He
So-
was in both of those
He was
movies.
in
That's
both
why
of
we're
them.
having trouble.
That's
But
right.
yeah, he
It-
went crazy because
yeah.
he was on that location for
By
too
himself,
long.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they were
That is the
sending.
Martian. I think that is the
No,
Martian.
it's Interstellar.
So on the Martian, he got stranded on Mars. But he didn't really go crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He kind of did, but he wasn't like a bad guy villain.
Exactly.
He was like the bad guy on Interstellar.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. But they had that idea of like they had, I don't know, I think 1 million sperm and whatever eggs to restart because planet Earth was dying. They're like, fuck it, we out of here, and restarted somewhere else. So that's what ended up happening. But anyway, besides the point.
But yeah, man, that's all that happened. I didn't have great news this week.
It's all good.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. We can actually go back to. I wanted to go back, man, on these like experiences that you had. Look, I wanted to ask you about being in the studio. Do you have? I know you were talking about like some of your best moment being in the studio was when Starlito rented out the castle. Do you have anybody maybe in the beginning of your career that kind of gave you really great advice, or somebody that kind of guided you in a good direction, or something like what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. I met a lot of different people. Try to think. Well, my first partner, my homie, Young Skits, shout out Young Skits. She when I first really before I came up here to Atlanta, she was just really putting me on. Because I was crazy. I taught myself, teach myself to play piano, but I would not use no piano when I made Fruit Loop beats. I was clicking the notes in on everything.
Gotcha, yeah.
So she was like, no, I can't. She still use boards and stuff. She's like, yo, why don't you just use the keyboard? So she really helped me out in the beginning, and then met Milwaukee Black, and then Black was teaching me the game and stuff too.
Man, it's crazy you just because I do remember when. Before Black really blew up, I remember y'all talking about y'all had work with him, like early on when he had the dreads, right?
Oh, well, this is a different Black.
Oh, different Black. Oh, okay, I thought
This
you
is
were talking-
Milwaukee Black.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, he was a producer. Yeah, he did like all the backwoods stuff.
Oh,
Like, he
okay,
was the main
okay.
guy there. So that was like just as far as his bigger names of producers I met. Like he kind of just taught me different shit. Just the game a little bit. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? And then even me just Burn, Burn me the same age.
Yeah.
Just him already being established, understanding the music industry of just doing the takes for Gucci and everybody. Him just giving me advice too of me not really knowing, me being from Mobile to
Exactly.
to Atlanta is a different scene completely.
Exactly.
But him just giving me game when we was first met too. So yeah.
That makes sense. It kind of because I'm from Arkansas, Mobile, and I feel like Arkansas maybe I don't know. It's just like Mobile in a way because the scene is completely different. I remember when I first got here to Atlanta, or when I was traveling back and forth, I was like, "Yo, this city it's crazy." It's kind of like the culture, not a culture shock, but it's like a shock. If you ever been to New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
yeah.
that whole the hustle and bustle, you're like, what the fuck? How do people do this? Versus the country, or something like that.
10 times slower.
Exactly.
It's way slower.
Way slower, and so that makes sense. But I know, like in Arkansas, there's not a lot of like artists. We have actually major artists that were from there, but they don't really ever claim Arkansas.
From Arkansas?
Yeah.
Who?
I want to say, what's his name? He's a singer. He's a big old school soul singer. It's not. I think it's either Al Green was born in Little Rock, and something like that. But it's like the old school soul singers. Neo's from Arkansas, even though he doesn't.
For real?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yes, he is. He is. I swear.
I really don't know where Neo is from.
Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton, of course.
Saxophone.
Saxophone legend.
There you go.
But those are just like a few people. Not too many crazy.
SL Jones. Shout out SL.
Oh yeah. But just a few people. But yeah. But like to go back to what I was saying, like going from that to Atlanta was a big shock. I mean, was it a big shock for you, Jenny?
Yeah.
You being from
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Gresham, South Carolina. It's like the middle of nowhere. It's like swamp, you know what I mean? It was definitely a culture shock, but I've grown to love it. There's great things about both of them, you know what I mean? But I remember the first time, because I came to Atlanta a couple times before moving here, and I was coming for A3C, and just me trying to navigate the interstate, I was just like,
oh, it's a whole different world.
yeah. But now I'm completely used to it, but it's definitely different.
you talking
So,
about?
are you from like kind of the middle of nowhere, Alabama?
Yeah. I'm like Theodore. It's like Theodore. Mobile is the city, and then Theodore is kind of like the outskirts country. Yeah. So, same.
I feel you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's so super funny. I was gonna say that you talking about the interstate kind of reminds me of if you ever been to Houston or like in Texas, them big ass interstates. It's like 8 lanes.
Oh yeah.
It's like real wild out
Nah,
there.
I never been out there.
It's super wild. Same thing like with California. It's crazy, but
I've driven in LA. That was scary.
that is, bro. That's an experience.
Yes.
When you first do it.
Oh God.
Oh, I didn't drive.
Oh yeah. No,
I was there. Burn did all the driving.
Bro, they just be driving like it's wild out there because they basically it's almost like they got no rules because people just go whatever speed it is. Which in Atlanta they kind of do that here too because the cops really only pull you over if like I don't know you got drugs outside the window or some shit. They don't be really bothering too much. But out there it's crazy. Same thing with like the bikes. Motorcycles out there they don't have to. They can go between the cars. So they just be like zooming and shit.
Oh, that's allowed? I thought people were just being wild doing that.
No. That's allowed out there. It's okay. But
It's allowed.
yeah, it's not against the law. But people be getting upset because of how dangerous it is, you know?
Yeah, I be mad when they do it here. I be wanting to open my door. Like.
Do a little flip over,
like-
whatever. That's hilarious. But I was going to say, you got any like projects that you're working on right now? I know you always working. Like you're always working.
Oh, we working on Anna stuff, Anna Valina.
Yeah.
Finishing up her project. Indeed Face, we got a new EP we about to drop called Mob Lantis.
Mob Lantis. Oh, is that a world premiere right here? Premiere first on the Not Out Here podcast?
Oh yeah, Mob Lantis. And then Ricky's working on about 5 projects.
Man, Ricky got like
Mr. Fontaine
10 projects.
Yeah, he do.
Man, he always stay working.
Yeah, so he got a whole bunch of joints he working on, and then we're gonna have the full Indeed Face album for the 4th wall. But, and then the NFT stuff. Just doing different stuff like that. I'm trying to think what else.
I'm going to ask you, so to take a quick pause on that, NFTs, do you understand them? Like, does it make sense to you?
A little bit. Burn knows more because he didn't already engulfed himself into it, so he's swimming in it. I don't know as much. Like I kind of understand how they work. Like I feel like I get the grasp of how they move. Like how you know what I'm saying, how you get paid and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying, blockchain. So they're all pretty much similar. But y'all gotta get burned on if y'all want like an in depth.
Yeah,
I don't want to lie to you, and then y'all go out there and
exactly.
be like, man, Walt, I lost all my money.
We're broke, Walt. The Not Out Here podcast
I
is
didn't know none of that.
not here anymore. But
I'm not buying anything.
I'm trying to sell some stuff, some NFTs, and like I got some stuff that
Are you on there now?
Well, I'm on one site, but like
Which one?
Rare.
Rareables or
Rareable.
Rareable?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, dope.
And so like I have this little animation that I created, and it's got some original music behind it. But like I didn't realize, like I said, I didn't know, but it's not on there yet because first you have to pay for the minting of it, and then you have to pay for the what is it? The process of getting it on there. And I was like, what? And so, but it goes by with Ethereum, like Ethereum.
Yeah.
And so it just depends. It's like at first I didn't understand it, but then I was like, because a part of me I felt like kind of weird about it. I'm like, oh, is this just like a gimmick right now, for the moment, or is it really here to stay, type of thing,
Well, I don't know. I feel like it's because it jumped off far as like the art community. I feel like it's gonna be here for a minute. Like it's really now just because Burn put us on like 6 months ago. He started getting into it because it was a artist we worked with, Bananakin, that was already in it for like a year.
Yeah.
So and then we hopped on, and then now it seems like more and more artists, and because it's getting to where music and all that stuff. Because I was talking to Burn, and I was like, dang, it's really like what Wu-Tang did with that album.
Where they sold it to the Martin dude.
Yeah, where they auctioned off the album.
Oh yeah.
It's literally kind of like just like that.
Gotcha.
It's like on a now larger scale. So now most people, you know what I'm saying, you putting up is one of one, and you know what I'm saying, people bid for it.
Yeah.
So right now it's still young, and you still got and it hasn't been like too many giant artists hop into the game right now.
Gotcha.
So, but I feel once that happens, then you're gonna start seeing outrageous.
That makes sense.
So what are you selling on there?
So we've been doing like collabs with artists. So
it's like an exclusive track.
Well, we do have exclusive beat drum. What they call that thing? Drum kit.
Okay.
We got an exclusive drum kit, 100 of 100. So we only have 100 copies of it.
You got to buy it as an NFT.
Yeah, you got to buy it as an NFT. But also, we've been working with artists. They'll do the art, and then we'll do the music behind it, kind of scoring it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like little movies.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's wild. I guess maybe it's hard. I feel like an old man sometimes when I hear stuff about this. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Is this the new shit? Am I getting left behind? But it's interesting. I'll give it that. I guess we'll see how it is. Cause like you were saying, I think I was like, well, I'm just waiting for that first real big artist to jump on it and be like, hey, because some people were, what was it? I can't remember if it was a thread somewhere on Twitter or something. People were talking about this could be a new way to release music or like an exclusive song. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So like, for example, let's say somebody drops an album and they could be like, hey, you get this dope little animation plus this song, but there's only 100 of these. And you stamp it $500. Or something like that. You make some good money quick.
Because I think who just dropped the album? My boys, what's their name? Their name is like right here in my head. I can't say it. Sex on Fire. Who did that song? That band.
Trying to think.
Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon.
Kings of Leon. Yeah, they just dropped the album on NFT.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
So then, was it like a one of one, or was it like there's only a certain amount? Or?
I don't know. I didn't finish reading into it, but I seen they did it. But yeah, it's definitely because I think really like music wise, you think like if a giant artist like Beyonce or something, like yo, I'm gonna create this one song that nobody else can have but you.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could blow up and.
That makes me think of Nipsey Hussle did something like this.
Oh, with his mixtape.
It was only was it only 100 or only 1,000 copies?
Well, one of them is 1,000 copies, but $100.
$100 per copy. Yeah.
And then that was with Mailbox Money, I think. And then he had another album where I think he sold for 1,000.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Damn.
And Jay-Z bought 100 of them.
100 copies.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like all that. Like I feel like all that really is precursor, and then now you got this where pretty much everybody can kind of just. You might start off low, and what we've seen, just that's what I said. I don't know enough. I don't want to give y'all bad information. So make sure y'all holler at DJ Burn One. He's the NFT captain right now.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
But just you might start off your number low, like 1.1 Ethereum and whatever that.
Yeah, whatever
you know
the
what I'm saying,
crypto.
the currency, currency rate is for that, and then people just slowly bid to, you know what I'm saying,
to however long it goes.
Yeah, because I think what's the last piece was how much was it? Like $62 million. Somebody sold a piece of artwork for it.
Yeah, somebody sold. I think it was a dude named Beeple or some dude.
Yeah. So, like 62 million.
It does make me feel old, man.
You start to lose track. Like I don't even know what the fuck this new shit the kids
digital
getting into.
art.
It's interesting, but we can take a break. We're 40 minutes in.
Okay.
Or if you got, do you have any questions or?
I mean, I could keep going with some music questions.
I actually did want to ask you a question because we always what's it called? We do this thing called Creative Corner from time to time, where basically we try to help younger dudes or women in the game that are trying to get like their footing in the game, I guess, or find their place in it. Do you have any advice for people who are just getting started, or just something that you kind of learned later in the game that you kind of felt like would be good for someone younger that's just getting in now to hear, or to
let's see. So I'll start I guess one thing that I learned about later that I wish just that everybody should know early is understanding publishing. Like real talk, like understanding publishing and just knowing, just getting a publisher, just going to BMI, ASCAP. I say BMI because it's free, but BMI, that's what we can go BMI, ASCAP, CSEC, somebody, and just, you know what I'm saying, get registered. And then just understanding just your power and your understanding what you get for songs. Because I be getting Reddit stuff in my email, and I be seeing some of the craziest questions, and I see the answers, and I be like, what? Like, why are you telling this? Some dude was talking about, hey, I did this song, the artist said he'll buy the beat, but I ain't gonna get no publishing. I was like, is this cool? I was like, what? Somebody was like, yeah, that's how it go. I was like, what? I was like, who's telling me?
That's wild.
I was like, no, like, as a, you know what I'm saying, it's just understanding, even as an artist or producer, like 50-50, that's how it works. Like, you the artist wrote the song, you wrote the music, it's 50-50. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't know that. Like, the most basic thing, like, they don't, the most basic thing to me now, but to them, getting into it, they might not know. And then just music-wise, just don't feel bogged down by just what you're using. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you get caught up in, well, hey, they use this to make a beat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They record on this. You know what I'm saying? They got this nice blue mic over here. You know what I'm saying? They got the UAD and all this stuff. And you know what I'm saying? It doesn't always matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at, I think Steve, I would say, the guitar player for Internet.
Steve Lacy?
Steve Lacy. You see, he recorded a lot of his songs for his first album on his phone with GarageBand.
Yeah.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? Just the little rig, guitar iRig, plugged it in, played the guitar parts, and used drum loops and sung. Damn. But he may have re-sung the stuff later, but you know what I'm saying, just getting ideas down. So it's really now, because of everything.
Technology and everything.
You can record on anything.
I saw Made in Tokyo said that his biggest song, they recorded it in the kitchen. I forget what his song was.
The Uber Everywhere?
Yeah, they recorded that in his mom's kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard like countless stories like that where it's not treated or anything like that, and they just like, fuck it, we're just recording here in this big ass space, even though it caused like a big reverb in it. But
and sometimes it don't matter. I'm like, some stuff you be like, because I think we just learned about strings, and we was at Tree Sound, and this guy was telling us, we was just talking about Bernadette questions. We asking them questions about the strings, like how they do like orchestras and stuff. He was like, they EQ the orchestra and balance with the mics. So when they record an orchestra, it's all based off the mics that they're using. Like that's how they do the EQing and stuff with the type of mics that they're using for the orchestra. They're doing the mix, like the conductor does the mix. Like when you're in the mixing room, the engineer shouldn't be mixing the orchestra. Like the conductor is like,
he's the one.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Okay.
And then stuff like that, they may need like mics, but that may not stop somebody. We might come here. This room got a nice, you know what I'm saying, high ceilings, nice little bounce of reverb. Might record a whole string section here, it go #1 song, they be like, man, what studio were you in? Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? It don't always matter.
Exactly. I think also another thing too to add to that, it's also like I said, it depends on the song, but it's also like the vibe in there. Yeah. Kind of like what Timbaland was saying to a point, you know? He's like, you know, if it's a dope song, it's a dope song. You know, people are going to fuck with it regardless. Because, like, I know hella songs from back in the day that were, like, not recorded in, like, high-quality studios. It sounded like, the recording, you're like, this sound kind of trash, but it's still dope. You know what I mean? And then people still fucked with it. So yeah, a lot of stuff I done seen people record, they try to recreate it. And they be like, I don't know what's wrong. And they be like, it was just everything that was done in there made it. You know what I'm saying? Made it what it was. Exactly. Kind of gives it a little bit of character. Yeah. You know? So that makes sense. But
if you weren't doing music, what do you think you'd be doing?
That's actually a good question.
I don't know. Probably music, but if I had to give you an answer, maybe I probably would have took maybe playing baseball. I play baseball. Maybe cooking.
No, Chef Walt. Yeah.
I mean, I play baseball a little bit. But basketball, I play pretty much all sports. But maybe I might be a chef because I like to cook. So.
I feel you. Atlanta's a good spot for that.
Yeah,
in case you ever want to quit, just say fuck it to music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're at that point in the podcast where we go into what's called our Not Out Here moment, and because we have our special guest Walt live, what's a Not Out Here moment for you?
So I think this might fit. Okay. So we was in LA. We had just went out to LA to work some music and work on some joints with our partners. One Mind, they did. I'm terrible at remembering songs. I'm just horrible. But One Mind, y'all know One Mind.
They did some dope stuff.
Yeah, they did some dope stuff. So we was in there, and this is we working on some music in the Airbnb we rented. So we kicking it. And everybody goes outside, like we smoking and stuff, isn't it? So we smoking. And I get ready to walk outside. So I'm walking outside and I run straight into the screen door.
Damn.
It was a glass door.
Oh, you had one of those moments?
I shattered? No, I shattered. I fell. I hit it hard and I fell and I just laughed. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Yeah. Like I literally felt like I was finna walk. I guess I thought the door was open.
Yeah, it was so clean that it looked like it was even
it was
there.
So clean spot. It was, shout out to the housekeepers at that flat. But
did anybody see you hit the?
No, everybody saw me. Damn. Everybody in the room. Everybody, everybody.
And you dropped your drink, and then you licked it up off the carpet.
licked the lean off the floor. That's hilarious. We definitely blipping out that name, but
he might try to come get you.
Exactly. That's hilarious. That's definitely not on here. I think I've had that plenty of times. I remember one time. I have one real quick. I remember being in school. Of course, everybody, for the most part, I mean, I know I did ride the bus home, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember it was time to go home. And, like, at the end, usually they have buses lined up, right, in the front to pick up the kids. And I remember I was looking for my bus, and I'm looking, and I turned my head. And when I turned my head, I'm still walking, so I'm not looking straight, right? And I'm not paying any attention. And, like, I'm looking and somebody says, L, and I turn my head. And by the time that I turn my head, the side mirror of a bus is right there, and it goes clunk, and my head goes back. And like,
I thought it was gonna be the stop sign. That would have been more. That would have been more enjoyable. Little stop sign that comes out.
Bruh, that sounds like a movie. Like, but I hit my head, and bro, everybody saw it. Like, this was in middle school, so I was like, oh, shit.
They remember for about a few
They
days.
remembered for a little bit, but then of course something else happened, and
They get something.
Yeah.
exactly. That's hilarious.
How we at like 50 minutes?
Yeah, 50
I
minutes.
got one too. Let me tell the one
Oh, okay.
real
All
quick.
right. Everybody doing not on here.
This was before I moved to Atlanta, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to it was like a I Standard beat battle or something. It was at like
The classic.
it was at like Harlem Nights, I think.
Oh boy.
And I had a hotel in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
So after the beat battle was over, all that, I'm walking up the street, and there was like a group of women, and it was like a really fine woman. She had like on like a little skirt, little dress, and she bent over for some reason to grab something or grab a shoe or something. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But there was a homeless man across the street, and the homeless man was like, "Whoo, damn!" So then I just bust out laughing, and then the lady like looks over and she, so then she keeps going, but then the homeless guy saw that I started laughing.
Uh-oh.
So he like runs over the street and starts talking to me. He's like, "Yeah,
no.
you saw that? Yeah, damn, boy." He's like, "Hey, where you going?" I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
Lord.
good, man. Like, yeah, that was funny,
Yeah.
bro. So this guy starts following me.
Oh no.
He's like, "Yeah, man, where you going?" He's like, he's like, "Hey, man, wherever you going, I can show you a shortcut."
Boy.
I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm good." He wouldn't leave me alone, so I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yo, like, what do I do? Like,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to,
Yeah.
So then I'm walking, and I think there's a Hard Rock Cafe, like right there.
Oh yeah.
And there was a cop inside. So I literally just walk in Hard Rock Cafe, and then the guy starts to come with me, and then he sees the cop, and then he just
Bruh.
You ran a little interference, I see.
yep. And then I just went and ordered a burger, and then
You just dipped up to that. And then you came back out, he was right there. Hey buddy, I ain't
I'm
forgot
so
about
glad he wasn't right
The
there.
homeless people in Atlanta is aggressive.
Man,
They are.
They are super aggressive. Have you ever seen the dudes that be flagging you down like, hey, there's a spot right here, you can park right here.
Oh, no, I've never parked there. I have never yet to park there.
Well, them ain't homeless dudes though. Those are homeless dudes.
Yeah,
of 'em.
some of them are homeless.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh,
watch
shit.
it. But I feel like my homeboy does it. Like my homeboy,
Oh,
he got
yeah.
a nice car. He got a BMW.
Yeah.
He does it. I think he'll shoot him some money. They'll watch his car for him. He come back, his car straight.
No, exactly.
I'm just not ready for that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even got a nice car. I just feel like
I remember one time I parked somewhere like on Edgewood, and I do not like parking on Edgewood because your shit will get broken into. But I remember one time I parked in front of like Joystick, that little bar on Edgewood, and then a homeless man was like, "Right here, buddy, right here," and I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna have to interact with this dude." And he gets out, he's like, "Hey man, pay me a couple dollars, I watch your car." I'm like, "Bro, I'm straight." He's like, "I don't know, man, something might happen."
Oh,
that
damn.
sounds like a setup.
I know it sounded like a setup, and I was like, "Nah, bro, I'm straight." But I just stayed around near my car, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna just keep an eye."
I went to Follies one time. Didn't park in the Follies parking lot,
boy.
but the grocery store across the way. And this guy was guiding traffic and taking money and I actually gave the guy money. And then after I did, I'm like, "Hey, yo, is he actually running this shit? Like, did I just give this guy money to park in a
exactly
free parking lot?"
Yeah, free parking lot. That's hilarious. That's Atlanta for you.
Yeah.
That's super, super hilarious. But okay, well, I guess that's a not on here moment, man. Walt, before we clock out for this episode, can you tell the people where they can like follow you and D-Face, or just plug your social medias and everything?
Oh, yeah, you can follow me at Walt Live. That's Twitter and Instagram. Also, follow our band at Indeed Face. Make sure you follow the whole team, at DJ Burn One, at Anna Valina, at Go Ricky Go Guitar. And then you can go to the 5pointsbakery.com, check that out, and then you can check out our albums on iTunes and everything like that.
And then make sure you go buy the one of the drum kits, the NFTs.
Oh yeah, yes, please.
It's only
go
100
to
of them.
NFT. It's only 100.
It's only
Only 100. You know what I'm saying?
and then once they're gone, they're gone.
They gone.
Can't
You know what I'm
get 'em.
saying? We gonna lace this boy L with one right now, but you know what I'm saying? So it might be what? I think we sold like five or six now.
Okay.
So they going like hotcakes.
I feel it. Well then, and then also if y'all would, man, follow the Not Out Here podcast on social media, Instagram,
Yes.
Not Out Here podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure you follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Give us a review. It really helps us get out to new listeners. And Jitty?
Follow Cool Ass People, Cool Ass PPL. Follow me on my personal pages are JRB the producer. Also, follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. Please do. But until then, man, we'll catch you on the next one.
Doop.
You.